In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this really simple slideshow photo effect right inside of Adobe Premiere Pro. So let's get into it. So once we're inside of Adobe Premiere Pro and you have a brand new sequence created, you first want to begin by just dragging an image onto your timeline. So I'm just going to drag this clip onto my timeline, and as you can see, it's suddenly filled the screen and it's quite zoomed in and quite low quality. This is because we have a 1920 by 1080 composition and the image is much larger. So we're just going to decrease the scale of this just so that it fills the background. There we go. That looks really nice. Now from here, we're just going to go into Effects and we're going to search for Blur. Now that should load a whole different array of different blurs, and it's completely up to you on which blur you want. Each blur will give you a slightly different look, but today I'm going to go into Fast Blur. So I'm going to drag Fast Blur onto that image, and I'm just going to increase the blurriness all the way up to around there. And I'm just going to select Repeat Edge Pixels, and this will get rid of this black border around the image. There we go. That looks really nice. Now from here, I'm just going to go and increase that image duration over to 10 seconds. So we'll just pull this over to there. And then we're going to go up to the Motion tab. We'll pull the cursor back to the beginning, select Scale, and we're going to select this stopwatch icon here, the Toggle Animation button. That's going to create a keyframe. We'll scroll across towards the end, and we'll increase the scale up to 58. And then we'll just drag that keyframe towards the end. Now we're just going to play that back. And there you go. You can see we've got this really nice subtle push in on this photo. Now, of course, this is completely out of focus. This we're just using as a backdrop for this photo effect. So we're going to go back into our project window and we're going to drag the photo back onto video layer 2 and we'll extend the duration out to match the other. Now we're going to go into motion, scale, and we're going to pull the scale down. But rather than filling the screen like before, we're going to pull it down so that we can see all of the edges of the photo and there's enough room on all sides of the photo. Now from there, we're just going to make a copy of that photo, and we can do this one of two ways. You can select the photo, hold Command C or Control C if you're on Windows, and then Command V to paste it, and we can drag it on top. Or alternatively, we can select Option on our keyboard, hold that down, select video layer 2, so that's our image, and we'll pull that up. And there we go. We've got a perfect copy of that image. Now, we're going to ignore video layer 3, the one that we've just copied. We'll go back down to video layer 2. And we're going to increase the scale just a little bit. So I'm going to go up to 30. And as you can see, that's just a little bit larger than the other image. So now from here, we'll go to Effects, search for Levels, drag levels onto that image. We'll go into the RGB white input level. That's the second one down from the top. And we'll pull this all the way down to 0. So you can see we've now got this white border around the photo. From here, we just want to nest those two images together. So we've got our border and our image nested together. So select both of those images, right click and select Nest. Now we can rename this nest if it makes life easier for yourself. So I'm just going to say Photo. And there we go. If we play this back from the very beginning, you can see our background's pushing in, but the image isn't really doing anything in the foreground. So we're going to go into Effects and we're going to search for Basic 3D. We're going to drop Basic 3D onto our photo composition. And as you can see, we've got Swivel and Tilt. The swivel is going to swivel this from left to right, and the tilt is going to tilt this up and down. Now, it's completely up to you how you want to do this. You can add a little bit of tilt, you can add a little bit of swivel, but personally, I like to just work with the swivel. So we'll pull the cursor back to the beginning at 0 seconds, and I'm going to pull the swivel down to -10. Now I'm going to create a brand new keyframe by selecting the Toggle Animation button. We'll scroll towards the end, and we'll change that -10 to a +10. And we'll pull the keyframe all the way to the end. Now, when we play this back, you can see we've got this really nice subtle movement on the photo. Of course, though, we can still do a little bit more to enhance that. We're just going to go towards the end of this sequence And we're going to pull the scale up to, let's say 105. We want to make sure that it's not touching the edges of the frame. We'll create a brand new keyframe on scale, and we'll pull that keyframe to the very end. We'll go to the very beginning and we'll pull the scale down to 96. So this means there's going to be a nice subtle zoom in on that. Alternatively, if you wanted to create a parallax effect where they both move in opposite directions, you can just swap those keyframes around. So we'll pull the end keyframe towards the beginning, the start keyframe towards the end. And that means we're starting at 105 and finishing at the 96. And there you go. We've got this really nice parallax effect on our slideshow image. And there you go. All you have to do from here is add some text if you so desire. And to do so, you just go into File, New, Legacy Title. We'll press OK on this. And once the Legacy Title window has opened, we can select anywhere in here and we can type out something you want to put. So let's put "Wish you were here." We're going to change the font for something more handwritten. There you go. That looks nice. We'll change the font color all the way to white. Center that up, and then we'll just exit the Legacy Title window. Now we'll go back to our project. We'll pull the title onto video layer 3. And that looks nice. But at the moment, it's kind of not lining up. It's kind of in the way. It's blurring with that photo. So we'll go back to the photo, we'll pull the position over to the right, and then we'll go onto our title and we'll pull the title over to the left, and we'll pull this down just a touch, or we'll pull it up. We'll go into Effects, search for Drop Shadow. That should be in perspective. We're going to drop that onto our title. And as you can see, we've already got this soft background, this soft shadow on our text. But if you wanted to increase it, you can increase the opacity. You can increase the direction, change the direction of that shadow, increase the distance. And there you go. That is how you do the photo slideshow effect right inside of Adobe Premiere Pro. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. See you there.